Now, critically acclaimed author Jane Casey joins us now, having just published her latest novel, Let the Dead Speak.
Now, having previously won Irish Crime Novel of the Year, the Dublin author continues to grow in popularity. Jane, you are so welcome to the show.
Welcome, Jane.
Tommy's been quizzing you there before we even started rolling. I mean, both of us, well, I can only speak for myself, but you do love crime novels as well, don't you? And I do myself too. But I suppose it's something that you need to be in the frame of mind for. This is particularly dark, this 11th novel of yours. So well done. And congratulations on it, with all the awards you've won too. Great accolades. How is the book faring out for you? How are you enjoying the experience of promoting this one?
I'm really enjoying it. It's the first book with a new publisher, and it's quite a different... they've slightly adjusted how the series is. They've done a fabulous cover, which is the same woman who did the Girl on the Train cover, which is so distinctive, did this one. Yeah. And I just think it looks amazing, and people really respond to the character of Maeve Kerrigan, who's the heroine in the series. So people are really pleased to have her back, and it's nice to sort of feel like they were waiting to read more about her.
I'll ask you about the actual novel in a second, but tell us about Detective Constable Maeve Kerrigan, because it seems to me if you're a crime novelist and you're writing a series, that the main character is so important. Was she a character that emerged fully formed back in book number 1 7 books ago, or how much has she developed in that time?
She's changed a lot. Originally, I was asked to write a series with a female central character, and I wanted to write a character who had some connection with Ireland. So she's born in London, but she has Irish parents, because I wanted to sort of keep that connection with my background and compare the two cultures. And she's developed a lot over the course of the series, you know, gaining confidence, losing boyfriends, and has sort of a slightly disastrous personal life, but a very good professional life. So I'm very fond of her. She feels like a friend to me.
Like all great sort of crime novel protagonists, they always have a sort of a dark personal life and bad things going on. Just in terms of your own background, then you went over to London, and then you used London as the background for your novels. Why not Dublin? Why not the city you came from originally?
I think because I was living in London, I was worried about being sentimental about Ireland. Like, I have always been very homesick living in London.
Oh, have you? Okay.
I think it's a great city, but it's not my city. And I would really like to write about Dublin, but I think there's that danger of not seeing it for what it is and kind of idealising it. Because
your background is, of course, that you've married a criminal barrister, so fantastic. What a better way to get some really good, juicy content, for your books. But you're actually moving home now to Dublin after 14 years, which is a big jump as well. So do you feel nervous about the move? Because obviously you're bringing your 11th book with you, you're bringing all your cache of work, and you're basically starting from scratch. You're going to be writing from home now, which is different.
I will. I mean, I think it's going to be a really positive thing for me. I'm very excited about it. I feel like it's the right time to leave, and with everything else that's going on in London and Brexit and everything else, I don't know, it just feels like I want to come back. I want to just be here and maybe write about Dublin once I've found my feet here. But I think this series is very important to me, and very important to a lot of readers who literally, I get messages from them, they finish the book and then say, when's the next one coming?
Well, tell us about this one then. Tell us the setup. I've read the first chapter, gripped already. Tell us about it.
Well, at the very beginning of this book, an 18-year-old girl called Chloe Emery comes back unexpectedly from a weekend away, walks into her house and discovers that it's covered in blood. There's blood everywhere. And there's no sign of her mother, who's supposed to be there. And so they begin a murder investigation, but without a body. So actually trying to find the bodies is a major part of the investigation, let alone finding out what happened and who done it.
And DC Maeve Kerrigan steps in at that point.
She does. She arrives and puts everything right.
Yeah.
How dark in your mind do you have to go sometimes, Jane, when I suppose you go into the inner crevices to kind of come up with new concepts, new storylines? I mean, we look at the success of The Girl on the Train that you mentioned with Emily Blunt. I mean, they're made into movies. Do you see yourself kind of in your mind's eye thinking, well, I'm 11 novels in now, I know I'm good at this, I can nail it. They're very dark and they're very good. Maybe a movie is on the way?
I mean, I'd love it, but I think if you want to make a movie, then maybe write a screenplay. Like, I think you have to think first of all about the book as a book. And it's quite weird when somebody reinterprets your character. Like for Girl on the Train, they moved it to America. They changed a lot about the book. And I'm not sure how Paula Hawkins felt about that. It's quite a big thing.
You lose control.
You hand
You
over.
lose control,
At the moment, I have a lot of control over what happens.
I read this, that there were 40 Irish crime novels published in 2016. I don't know if that's an exact figure. What is this explosion in Irish crime fiction? Where does it come from? What's behind it?
We're just really good at it.
Clearly.
I think it's one of those things where we kind of nailed literary fiction a long time ago. Women's fiction has always been incredibly strong here, amazing authors, very successful authors. And crime was kind of neglected for quite a while. And then people like John Connolly started writing. And I think he was a real game changer. And suddenly people felt, do you know what, we can do this too. This is something that we can look at.
When you're out in social events, when you say to people, I'm a crime writer, what kind of reaction do you get?
Well, I think, maybe I don't seem like the classic dark person when you meet me. Like I think most crime writers are very laid back. I think we work through a lot of our negative emotions by killing people off in our books. So we tend to be very kind of cheerful and pleasant. So it does surprise
When you're in
people.
the midst of the writing process, though, it must be a pretty dark place to be when you're writing with all that blood spattered everywhere.
I don't know. I think it's just if you have that kind of mind, it just comes naturally to you. I don't know what that says about me, but it does seem to just. To me, it's just fascinating. I love reading about people doing terrible things to one another and why and how they justify it. And they're not always terrible people. I think that's the interesting thing.
And how important is character or plot? I always think about writing a novel, coming up with a story, but does it all come from the character? Does it all come from DC Maeve Kerrigan?
Well, everything comes, unless you believe in the characters, it doesn't matter how good the plot is. You have to be completely convinced that you're reading about real people and real problems that they have. So that's my job, to make you feel like you're actually there in the scene, looking around, stepping over the blood and trying to work out what's going on too.
Jane, you're doing a reading today. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, I'm going to do, there's an event today as part of the Mountains to Sea Festival. It's at Airfield House in Dundrum, and there's authors there all day doing events, and I will be on this afternoon with Alex Marwood and Sam Blake.
Brilliant.
Great stuff, Jane.